Shireza Shirshu.
That's right. I knew it started with an S. A shushu.
Yeah, Shirshu.
Shushu.
Or
so the
Sirsu.
shushu that has a tongue that can
No,
paralyze
not a
people.
Zuzu. It's a Shirshu.
I said shirsu.
Oh, it sounded like you said Jushu.
No, shirsu. And it's not Zuzu
Shirsu.
either. Zuzu's a different character.
I know. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Flip the Scripts. I'm your host, Ankit and Madhira.
And I'm your other host, Stephen Nieman.
And this week we are back. We are talking about episode 5 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix series titled Spirited Away.
Not to be confused from the Ghibli film with the same name.
Oh, I did the wrong prep work. My bad.
Dang, man. Watching Ghibli? I mean, I don't blame you. That'd be an enjoyable time more than this episode.
Note to self, go watch Spirited Away. Ghibli.
Go watch Spirited Away, yeah. And then also, while you're there, watch Howl's Moving Castle. That one's really good as well.
I've played the music. I just never watched the film.
I don't know what it is about Studio Ghibli, but it always brings me back. It always brings me back.
To what?
To my childhood. It is amazing.
Ah, okay. Cool.
All right, so we're in Avatar world. Let's get back to the Avatar: Last Airbender world, where there's 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire. And we're in episode 5 called Spirited Away. Ankit, hit us off with this IMDb rating, this fun fact time.
Oh, I was gonna start you with the director. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You said the rating. I didn't know if you wanted to change it up. So
I always
the
want to change it up. You know,
yeah,
me.
that's
I'm a director.
about right. Yeah. The director for this episode, different than the last ones, but this is Rosian Liang.
I am appreciating that all the directors are of Asian heritage. Is something I've been noticing.
Yeah, I'm also now just realizing that her name is Roseanne.
I love you, buddy. Sebastien, if you want to bury Ankit, go for it. You can cut that bit out where you says her name, though.
Names are hard, man. Names are hard.
Words are hard, everyone. Words are hard.
I never claimed to be good at pronouncing people's names. I will try my best, but I apologize. But no, I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, Rosie Ann. All right, great. And then I was like, oh, Roseanne. Wait, it's Rose and then Ann. Okay, yeah, sure. Roseanne Liang.
Cool.
Is the director. Written by Gabriel Lianas. Developed by Albert Kim. The story editor was Keely McDonald. And the staff writer was Audrey Wong Kennedy.
So if you notice, for the last 3 episodes, the main writers of Avatar last series, Brian and... Why am I forgetting the other guy? Michael. And of course, the other guy who wrote it, who does Dragon Prince, are nowhere to be seen now on any of the writing staff. So we know they left in the middle of filming. So Ankit and I have a theory that they left after episode 2.
Yeah. That's my theory.
Well, Michael left after episode 1 because Michael wasn't a writer on the staff in episode 2, and Brian tried one more episode and then said, "I'm good."
Yeah. Michael, Brian, you've probably talked about it on other shows, but if you ever see this and you want to come talk about it, please let us know. We'd love to learn more.
We love your show. We love your show.
Yeah, we love your shows, not this one.
Oh, okay. Cool. So Spirited Away. So what was the IMDb rating, Ankit?
You want to take a guess? I love this part.
So I think this was better than the Boomy episode, so I'm going to have to say 7.2.
You know what? Split the difference between the two. 7.1.
Oh, hey, look at that. It was just slightly better than the Boomy episodes.
Not a lot. Still very average.
So, my fun question for you is
okay.
I think this is really fun because it kind of gets into the spirit realm of Avatar.
Uh-oh.
What is your favorite spirit in Avatar: Last Airbender?
Ooh. That is a hard one. I really like Heibai, just because he's a panda.
Yeah, hey, bye. That's good.
He's adorable. Like you don't meet that many spirits.
I don't know the name of it, but I really like the monkey.
Yeah, that was my other thought. The one that's like go. Oh wait.
Yeah. The comedic monkey is hilarious, and I'm sad he's not in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to say Heibai, just because like the story arc with Heibai is beautiful, and he keeps popping back, and when he comes back, he's just a friendly panda.
Just a friendly panda. I also do love the fact that all the like Fang, the dragon, Roku's dragon, is also now a spirit as well. So like all
I felt like that was a little
spirits.
Too easy, which is why I didn't want to pick one of those.
Fair. I wish we saw Appa's spirit in Korra. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Although I would have cried knowing Appa's dead and he's a spirit now.
But like we all know that he's passed away.
Sadness. All right, let's hop into the episode and not talk about sad things. Well, actually, there are some sad things about this episode.
Stephen, we're talking about sad things. You just said something that's a dichotomy. We're gonna hop into the episode and we're gonna talk about some sad things.
Cool. So we start the episode of Aang and the gang running from the Fire Nation and fighting all of them. But in the show, they would just run.
Hey, honestly, slightly accurate minus the fighting part.
Yeah, so the fighting was kind of bad. Katara like knocked out 10 soldiers all at once with her new ice bending move, and I was kind of like, she's not that good yet.
She's amazing. She can't earn anything.
So apparently they get in trouble because Sokka tried to hit on a Fire Nation soldier and failed.
Honestly,
that was the most accurate Sokka I've heard in a while.
It's the most accurate Sokka I think I've seen this entire series.
Like, he tried. He tried, everyone.
Sokka is like the Brock in Pokemon. Oh. Where he might get knocked down.
Yeah.
But he will always attempt.
So
he definitely has better luck than Brock, though.
Aang then points out the charred forest that we know from Winter Solstice episode part 1 of the original series.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all there, and Aang's, devastated by the burning of this forest. He's like, how could the Fire Nation do this? This is, cruel. And, Aang, it's very similar to the show, like actually probably like word for word almost. And Momo digs up an acorn, which is true, except Momo tries to eat it in the cartoon. He doesn't try to eat it in the TV show. I just thought it was funnier when he tries to eat it and Katara has to stop him to show Aang.
Yeah, we don't see as much of Momo being just gluttony's embodiment, which is also what I call the dog, and his name is Flash. And when we take him on a walk, we're just like, well, he's the embodiment of gluttony, because the way that he tries to eat food on the side of the road, it makes it look like we don't feed him at home.
So Katara shows him the acorn and how the forest is going to grow back, and Aang's like, oh wow, that's amazing. But then Aang keeps the acorn, which I thought was weird, instead of
dropping it,
instead of putting it back. Okay, I think he does keep it in the cartoon as well, actually.
No, he does. He keeps one.
Yeah, he keeps one, but there's like multiple, but there's only one in the show. So
I do miss that it wasn't Katara, slinging it at like 85 miles per hour at his head to cheer him up.
So Sokka runs into a little girl and he goes over to her. He's like, my name's Sokka. It rhymes with Akka. And I was like, there's the Sokka we know and love. I was like, hey, look at this. finally, by episode 5, you have almost the character down. Just took you 5 episodes.
No. They got the silliness down.
That's true. The girl ends up running away when Aang and Katara come to the picture, and they follow her to a village, who has apparently seen a lot of war because they're really close to the Fire Nation. And they say that the Fire Nation burned down the forest because they wanted to clear a path to the mountains. This is never really explained in the cartoon, so I like them giving a reason for it.
Yeah, I like the reason. I don't mind the reason. It's just in the cartoon, it's just the Fire Nation burned down the forest.
And what they say is the land has been fighting back. Everything's down. All this stuff is down. This is not true. In the cartoon, they're saying that they're being ravaged by a spirit named Heibai. Where is Heibai? That was my first question around here. Like, all these people are supposed to be disappearing because of Heibai, but no, it's just the land. So I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
So we cut back to Zuko with his men, and he's like, oh, I think people have seen the Avatar around here, or like they see a waterbender around here. And Zuko calls his lieutenant an idiot. And Iroh makes like a face. My thing is, when are they going to let Zuko and his lieutenant like actually have a heart-to-heart like they do in the Storm episode?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where the lieutenant learns more about Zuko, his tragic backstory.
Yeah.
I'm holding out hope that it's in the next episode.
We'll see. Then Azula is talking to Ozai about Zhao, about how we should water the most promising sea. Ozai then is like, well, Zhao didn't find the Avatar. Your brother Zuko did. And it's like he's giving credit to Zuko, which Ozai would never do.
Why?
But it pisses Azula off that Zuko is getting credit. But, all right, Ozai is giving credit to Zuko. Fair.
Stupid.
Yeah, but fair. So then we come back to Aang. And he wants to try to get to the spirit world to help this town because he says the spirit world is akin to the natural world. And this is ripped straight from the show. I thought, wow, this is really well done. And then they run into
this is where it takes a turn.
They run into all these statues of bears. Now, in the show, there's only one statue of the bear, and it's Heibai. I believe, actually, Heibai has children connected to her, though, as well. In the show, right? Does the bear have children? Does Heibai have children?
In the show?
Yeah.
In the cartoon or in the live action?
Cartoon.
No?
No?
I don't remember any baby pandas. Trust me, I would have remembered a baby panda.
Maybe I just imagine it. Okay, cool. So Heibai statue's there surrounded by other pandas, and I'm like, no, there's one panda statue.
Yeah.
And it's Heibai. And they run all the statue of the spirit of the forest. And Aang is really trying hard to get in the spirit realm. And he's like, will you guys be quiet, please? It's hard to focus. This is reminiscent of where he tries to get in the spirit world in the last episode of season 1, where he's in the in the Northern Water Tribe. Because Katara kept talking to Yue, and he was like, it's really hard to concentrate over
peace
here.
And quiet.
Yeah. So, it's good. So, he finally goes in the spirit world, and Aang enters, and they see a spirit leave his body. And all of a sudden, Katara and Sokka, both spirits leave their body, and they all three enter the spirit world. Because that makes sense.
The hell? What? How? Why? How? No. What?
Just so you know, there are only a few people in the Avatar world who can actually enter the spirit world through the Avatar's method, mind you. So, like, there are portals.
There are 2.
What? Oh, 2 people.
2 people that can do this.
Yes. Iroh and Aang.
And Aang. They're the only 2.
It's been proven that Iroh has actually gone to the spirit world because he meditated so hard he ended up there.
After his son's death.
But Katara and Sokka have never, ever, ever, ever in the history of Avatar ever been in the spirit world. I don't know why they wanted them to go there.
Sokka has when he was kidnapped by Heibai.
That's true. That happens once. but he wasn't kidnapped by Heibai. He just ends up going in with Aang because Aang's spiritual method is too powerful. He takes everyone with him.
So dumb.
It was really dumb. So then we cut back to Iroh and Zuko, and they're at a tavern. They're trying to track down the Avatar, and I was like, "Oh boy, we get to run into June! I'm so excited to meet live action version of June."
Hey, guess who we meet?
We meet June. Except this isn't the bar. June's not in the bar arm wrestling a dude, because I think that's how we meet her in the. Is that how we meet her in season 1? She's arm wrestling a dude.
No, we meet her because she's tracking someone.
On their ship.
It's a captive on the ship. And then later in the episode, she's arm wrestling the dude. And then
it's
they're
just
like,
so funny.
We'll pay you.
I love June. I just think June's a great character. It's hilarious. So
I love Iroh's crush on June. Iroh's like, no, June.
Yeah, I know. So they run into the guys who are in the pub, by the way, are the pirates of that are supposed to be in a previous episode, and I just love that reference to. They're like, oh, pirates sold the Avatar, and I'm like, that's funny, but also
that's fun.
Not funny because I'd rather watch an episode of the pirates one.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And then they run into June, and it's her. Is it her Snoo? Is that what's the animal's name? I'm forgetting the name.
I will let you know. Give me a second.
I can't believe I forgot it.
Sure is a Shirsu.
That's right. I knew it started with an S. A shushu.
Yeah, Shushu.
Shushu.
Or
so the shushu that has a tongue that can paralyze.
No, not a Zuzu. It's a Shirshu.
I said Shirsu.
Oh, it sounded like you said Jushu.
No, Shirsu. And it's not Zuzu
Shirsu.
either. Zuzu's a different character.
I know.
So the Shirsu has the ability to paralyze people with its tongue. They don't really show that much in the show. They're like, she paralyzes a guy. She's like, don't die on me. And she reveals she's a bounty hunter to Iroh and Zuko. And Zuko's like, bounty hunters, I hate them all. Which is against the cartoon. We'll explain why in a second. So they run. Aang is now leading Katara and Sokka into the spirit world and guiding them because they need to be there for some reason. And they run into the spirit of knowledge.
Wan Shi-Tong,
who should not be in the spirit world. He is in the real world in a library that is in the desert in the middle of the Earth Kingdom. What are you doing, show? This is a season 2 thing. Stop revealing things in season 1 that are supposed to be season 2.
I don't know, man. I don't.
What are they going to do in season 2?
Answers.
What are they going to do?
They're going to introduce a new spirit.
And he's like, go to the stone hut.
Mark my words. Mark it now. They're going to introduce a new spirit.
Fair. He says you should go to the stone hut. All your answers will be revealed. We cut back to Azula beating up her teacher because she's mad that Zuko got praised. Azula doesn't break down like this at all. She's not a child. She's very mature for her age. She doesn't need to beat someone up to make herself feel better.
Yeah, no.
This just, to me, this is ruining her eventual breakdown in season 3. They're not understanding that path. So, I'm just so frustrated right now. Okay, then we go back to Iroh and Zuko. And Iroh goes, open your mind, Zuko. And Zuko's like, why should we open my mind? And he's like, this is June. She's going to help us track down the Avatar. And I thought this was good.
I love Iroh.
But I like I like how the fact that in the show, in the cartoon, they purposely went to go get June to track down the Avatar. But also, they didn't tell June about the Avatar. They had a necklace of Katara that she lost because she was in prison and all this stuff that they used to track down Katara, who was next to the Avatar. So it's just that they don't have nothing of Aang to track him down. So I don't know how they're going to track it down without any sense. This is where if you mess up the story, it messes up other beats when you try to tell bits of the story that you forgot to tell. So, also, June doesn't know about the Avatar. June doesn't know they're after the Avatar at all. But now she knows. Alright, whatever. Aang lets Katara and Sokka know it's dangerous and they will face the truth. Oh my gosh. Because the truth is so scary. And then they find Heibai. And Heibai is like burned half his face. And I thought it was really interesting. And I thought Heibai looked amazing. Like they designed Heibai really well. The monster version of Heibai, I should say.
Well done.
And they learn they can't bend, which is something that Aang tries in the first moment he goes in Spirit World. Not 10 minutes later.
He don't need to try things. He doesn't need to figure out stuff quickly.
I don't know. Then Sokka gets hit by Heibai, and they run away, and they get separated. And that, everybody, is where we'll take our snack break.
Woo!
Woo. Hi, this is Stephen. Thank you for watching Co-op Forge. If you like our content, wish to support our editing staff or all, please subscribe to our Patreon and the link down below. You'll get bonus footage and many other fun activities out of it. In our description, you'll also find links to our social media, where we'll post about our new episodes. Flip the Scripts is every Friday. Seattle Across the Pond is every other Thursday. And Post Finale is posted every Wednesday. Thank you for watching. Now back to the main episode. All right, and we're back. Sokka runs into a three-tailed fox. Which, by the way, the three-tailed foxes are again in the library in Season 2. And I don't even think it's a three-tailed fox. I think it's three foxes, one with one tail. Each have one tail. It's three foxes.
Yeah, they're just three regular foxes.
Also, they don't talk to Sokka.
They're not foxes. They're wolves.
That's right. Sorry. But still, it's still aggravating.
My first thought was I looked at it and I was like, Vulpix?
Yeah, could be. Vulpix only has one tail, though, no?
No, Vulpix has like the three thing, doesn't it? It has like the weird like.
Vulpix has three tails. Oh, it has the curly tails.
It has the curliness, and so like it has more than one. It kind of looks bushy.
I think Vulpix has 7 tails, and Ninetales has 9.
Ninetales has 9. Sure, I mean, but like that was my first thought. It's not an exact, but like I was like,
yeah, you're fine. He says that Heibai is hurt. Heibai has been burned by the Fire Nation, which like that's true. And you know, you gotta go help Heibai. And all this stuff. He also says that Sokka jokes to hide things. Which, yeah, that's true. Sokka does joke and sarcasm to hide his true feelings sometimes.
We haven't seen it, but it is true based on the character from the cartoon.
So then we cut back to Katara. And Katara sees a little girl run past her. And in my head, I'm like, are we just doing the swamp from Season 2 here?
Yes.
And that's what it feels like. We are literally doing the swamp from Season 2. So what are they going to do in Season 2? I'm just... why? Like, Season 2, the swamp sets up Toph perfectly.
I do not understand what is happening.
Me either.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fact that, you know, this episode is currently a little over maybe 20 minutes long. And we're just so baffled that we can't even discuss it. Because we don't understand what they're thinking. No. We will do our best. But we're just confused.
So Katara's flashback to when her mom is alive, and she's like an older girl with her mom, and she's handling stuff, and it's like she's reliving with her mom. She's happy, but she still has this like weird feeling of what's gonna happen next. And then the Fire Nation attacks, and her mom dies in the same way that she would have died in the show. It's all sad. And one of the notes I wrote was, Ko? Is it Ko? Is it Ko the face? Because like when she was being weirded about her mom, I was like, oh, is her mom Ko the face stealer? I was right. It is Ko.
Yeah. I didn't have that guess.
But not well the done Ko on your guess. Oh, thank you. But it's not the Ko from the TV show. He has different powers. I'm going to explain his different powers for some reason.
It's so dumb.
I don't get it. We'll explain Ko when we get to Ko, because I am more pissed about Ko than anything else.
Sure. I mean, I'm pissed about the whole episode.
Sokka then flashes back to Hokkaido, giving Sokka the Mark of the Wise.
Which he doesn't get from his dad. He gets it from Bato.
So Bato shows up later in the season, and Bato does the ice training with him and Katara and Aang, because he never got to do it because his dad left before he could do it. Like, I don't understand why they had to make
be a certain age.
I don't understand this whole thing about, oh, he just wasn't strong enough or he wasn't good enough, so he failed. It's like, but he passed. Like, they said he passed, but he actually should have failed. It's like, no, Hokkaido's not. Hokkaido would have failed him if he was bad.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't get it. The whole changing the story. Oh, it's because I wrote Hokkaido. My bad.
Yeah, I was like,
my bad. I was reading my work. Hakoda.
I was like, has he been saying Hokkaido this whole time? Like, that's why I waited, because I was like, oh, maybe I just misheard him. No, it's Hakoda.
No, it's because I wrote it. I wrote it like Kaido from One Piece, who's one of the main villains. And I've been reading the manga of One Piece lately, so like I just been reading Kaido. So I see Kaido, and instantly my brain goes, "Oh, it's Kaido."
I'm gonna nod like I know who you're talking about.
For the listeners who love One Piece, yeah, I love the chapter where we're at right now. Too bad we're taking another break. Oda, please stay alive and finish One Piece. I know it's the longest manga in the history of the world, but please stay alive.
I don't know who you are. It sounds like you're the creator of One Piece. I hope you stay alive long enough to finish the story.
Yeah. So Sokka's all sad, and they say he didn't pass correctly, and he didn't live up to it. He never took the test in the show, like we said. And then, bam, another Ko moment, and Ko takes him away. Aang then runs into Ko the Face Stealer. Now, before, Aang also almost gets tricked by the same kind of fog, but he doesn't listen to it. Yeah. He's like, it's fake. And he runs into Ko the Face Stealer, who, in the show, does he run into Ko in season 1 or 2? I'm trying to remember.
It's season 1.
Yeah, it's when he goes into the winter solstice, right?
At the end of season 1. At the end.
Oh, it's at the end. It's in the winter battle, right?
It's the battle at the end.
So he goes to Ko, the Face Stealer, because Ko knows of Twang and Law, who are the two spirits that are the original spirits who created waterbending, created the moon, created the ocean.
Yeah, and Roku explains that, he only knows of one spirit that's old enough to know who the water and the moon and ocean spirits are, where Aang can find them, because that's what Aang is trying to do. Now, Ko, do you want to explain?
Ko this early is already BS. But the way Ko's powers work, if you show any expression on your face, he steals your face right away.
Yeah, it's his. You are now a faceless person.
The fact that he attacked Katara and Sokka, and they both had their faces at the end of the episode, is bullcrap. He doesn't feed on people.
Yeah, he
steals their faces. I don't know why they had to change it. He just steals their faces.
I don't know. If you're gonna do that, just give us a different, spirit. Just introduce a new spirit.
And he wasn't even warned about Ko. He wasn't even warned. How does Aang not know to not make a face against Ko? But
here's the thing: is Aang makes a face too.
I know, and he doesn't get his face stolen. So I don't understand. Then he escapes it. He goes in the cabin and he finds Gyatso. And I was like, what in the heck is this?
I don't know. Gyatso's now apparently there and not in flashback form, but Gyatso was able to stay in the spirit world instead of, I guess, rebirth or something.
Now, we know that Iroh did that in Legend of Korra, but Iroh was already connected deeply to the spirit world. There is no proof ever that Gyatso should just be in the spirits world living.
Actually, one of the big theories out there is that Momo is actually Gyatso reincarnated.
Yeah, and I like that theory.
I love that theory.
Because Momo is always there for Aang. No matter what.
No matter what, Momo's got their back. Like, Aang actively has to tell Momo at the end, and like multiple times throughout the series, he's like, okay, Momo, you go away now and come back later, because I'm about to do some fighting and I need you to be safe. But like Momo's like, exactly. Nah, I'm gonna be here until you tell me to get lost. I am ride or die with you. Let's go.
Exactly. So he finds Gyatso, which I don't like. I don't like this idea of Gyatso being there. It could have been Roku. It literally just could have been Roku. Like,
I wish it was Roku.
Roku is his avatar mentor. Like, it's that easy for him to actually talk to Roku. Gyatso explains what happened and how he got there. And, you know, Gyatso tries to help him see his path, you know, as the avatar. He says, I can't explain how to be the avatar, but like, you need to just be the avatar. And I'm like, that helps people. Great. And he explains Ko.
Hey, Steven.
Not correctly, mind you.
I have some advice for you real quick. Yeah?
Yeah?
I can't tell you how to be yourself, but you got to be yourself.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's, in essence, the message from Gyatso.
So Gyatso also explains Ko and how he's going to eat Katara and Sokka, which I'm like, Ko doesn't eat people.
No.
He doesn't eat souls. He just steals their faces.
Yeah, he's a simple guy. He just likes people's faces. He's like, I need all the different types of faces. I just want your face. Your soul can stay with you. You just can't speak.
Aang says he has to contact Roku. Because Roku is the... Oh yeah, also, Gyatso says Roku's the only avatar who fought Ko and won something off him. And I'm like, are we going to ignore Kurik? Are we going to ignore the avatar who literally fought Ko because his girlfriend was stolen by it?
Yeah. Apparently
they're
Kurik
just going to ignore...
Doesn't matter.
I don't understand Kurik being let go. Like, not in the story at all. So, Aang says he's going to go contact Roku. Fine. In the show, Roku sends his dragon after him. And his dragon's like, hey, he sees a vision through the dragon thing of going to Roku's statue in the Fire Nation on Crescent Island, I believe it's called.
I believe that's the right name for it.
It's on a volcano as well. It's the home of Roku. It's where Roku eventually lived with his wife. And
no, it isn't.
Go there and talk.
No, it isn't. It's a different place.
Is it not? Because they both have a volcano, or does it just both have volcanoes?
No, they both have volcanoes, but remember they visit it later.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Yeah.
So they go to the Crescent, and
they just say that he used to call it home. So maybe it was like the first home. Like maybe it's where he was born. Potentially. I don't know. Not sure.
Gyatso finally tells Aang it's not his fault and he needs to let go.
I did appreciate that.
Yeah. I thought it was a good little twist. To be fair, Aang kind of figures that out on his own in the episode called The Storm.
Yeah.
So thanks for cutting I get that's where I'm a little bit like
it's like it's this thing where the characters can't learn things themselves. They have to be told everything.
Exactly. It's just such a ugh. So Aang then gets out of Spirit World and he comforts Heibai with the acorn and he promises to make it right. He tells Appa Momo to stay safe as Aang goes to find Roku. We then had this deep narrative thing of Gyatso talking about the pain and all these things that Aang will go through. And we cut to Zuko and Azula, both in deep pain, as Gyatso explains the problems. Zhao now has the archers at his service, by the way, thanks to Azula. So Zhao is becoming a lot more stronger, and he has a lot more backing for him to fight.
Cool.
To get the Avatar. And Aang flies straight into the Fire Nation, as Gyatso says, the title of the episode.
It makes no sense. Like, Aang also leaves Appa and Momo behind.
So, in the show, the island where Roku is
in the Fire Nation.
It's in the Fire Nation, but it's far enough away from like the main area where they can get in and get out without being too detected.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be all of them go there. He doesn't go there by himself.
He tries to. He definitely tries to.
They stop him.
But, well, no, Appa, the 5-ton bison with 5 stomachs, or 10-ton bison with 5 stomachs, is like, I ain't going anywhere without Sokka and Katara. And Sokka's like, we're going together. Like, they all go together. They don't let Aang make this trip on his own. In the entire show, Aang makes one single trip on his own, and I'm just going to leave it vague at that. Or, no,
because we don't know if it'll come up in the next episode. Yeah.
2 trips on his own. 1 in season 2, later in season 2, and 1 in season 3.
He takes a trip on his own in season 1 as well.
Which one does he take in season 1?
When he goes to find the frogs, the frozen frogs.
Oh, okay. Sure. He takes 3 trips.
The Blue Spirit episode.
We'll see if it shows up next week.
Yeah, so Aang flies into the Fire Nation and to try to talk to Roku. And the winter solstice is never really explained, by the way. This is all supposed to be during the winter solstice. But good luck explaining that to somebody who hasn't watched the TV show. No. So that is the end of episode 5.
Choices were made.
Yeah.
Choices were made.
So, what do we rate the episode as an episode, not an adaptation?
6.3.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Ko's makeup was that good.
Yeah. The reason I'd give it a 6.3 was it just felt convoluted. It didn't.
I mean, they made it more convoluted than it was in the show, and it's like the show made it make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I was still slightly confused on Ko in this universe. Like, if he's stealing souls to eat souls and whatnot, like, why is he waiting? Why does Aang have, like, this time to be able to go talk to Roku and then come back? Like, why would Ko not just eat? Like, it's questions like this.
And they call him the face stealer as well, and he does the face thing. He literally does the face thing from the show, but he doesn't have the same powers as Ko from the show.
Yeah, but again, I'm not even talking that sense yet, right? Like, I'm solely just talking in this terms of this episode. It left me with questions that it shouldn't have left me with.
Exactly. So, at the end of the day, that is our episode.
Yeah.
So what do you rate the adaptation?
I don't even. Oof.
I want to give it a 2 because nothing like this happened in the show at all. like Aang went into the spirit world, but like this didn't happen in the spirit world. I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'm giving it a 1. I'm not even willing to give it a 2 because other than Aang going into the spirit world, every single other thing in this episode didn't happen other than Zuko finding June.
And he didn't even find her the way she found her in the film.
No.
In the TV.
So, like, one thing happened correctly, which is Aang goes into the spirit world.
And I would not usually care that much about, like, Aang, Katara and Sokka both ended up in the spirit world with Aang. It's just that it goes against every everything about what the spirit world stands for in the whole show. The only reason that in Korra, where a bunch of people ended up in the spirit world, was because they went to a portal that was open because of Korra. So
yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so that is the end of our episode. We're gonna end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us?
Let us know in the comments.
Or disagree, let us in the comments below.
Or send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever. Send us a message. We'll respond. We love hearing from you guys.
3 more episodes left of this lovely series.
Lovely is a strong word, Stephen. We have 3 episodes left of this series.
I'm just going to say my predictions for the next 3 episodes. So the next episode, I believe Aang's going to get caught in the Fire Nation, meet with Roku, and then they're going to somehow escape. They're going to end up at the North Pole by the episode 7, and they're going to have 2 episodes in the North Pole, and that's the end of the show.
I think your next episode is right. I think they're going to end up in the North Pole in the second half of the episode 7.
And
I think potentially the only way that you can introduce the Blue Spirit is Aang is captured, but Zuko turns into the Blue Spirit and lets him go.
That could happen next episode.
In the next episode.
Who knows? All right. Well, we'll see y'all later.
Thank you all. Bye. Hello, and thank you so much for listening to this episode of Flip the Scripts. Flip the Scripts is created, hosted, and produced by Ankit Madhira and Stephen Nieman. Our editor is Sebastien Hollich, the art is by Kshitija Madhira, and the music is by Sebastien Hollich. If you like the video, you can click to listen to the next part, or if it's not out yet, you can find one of our previous episodes.
Or if you want to check out some of our other content, here's a fun video from another one of our shows.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, comment, and hit that bell icon to get notified of all of our content when it releases.
Subscribe to our Patreon if you want bonus content.
Links to all of our social media and Patreon are in the episode description down below.
Thank you for supporting our content. Come back next week for more shenanigans from Co-op Forge.
New episodes for Flip the Scripts release every Friday, Seattle Across the Pond every other Thursday, and post finale every Wednesday. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Bye now.